What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Life of a Jobbing Plumber. In this episode, we've got jobbing about a baxi with lukewarm hot water, and there's a leak on it. That's a Duotech. We've got, whilst we're at that job, I've just had a message. I'm about to leave to go there now. Just had a message saying, yesterday we was putting some wooden floorboards down and we've knocked the gas pipe, and then we could smell gas, so we've isolated the gas. So before I even get into the boiler, I've got to search for this gas leak and repair it. So this should make a good little episode. Also, I might throw a few other little jobs throughout the day into this episode as well. So as usual, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps push my channel out to the wider audience. We're trying to grow as fast as possible. It inspires me to film more content the more subscribers we have. So yeah, let's get into it. Thanks for watching. Right, so we're here now. This is where there's nailed through the gas pipe, or damaged the gas pipe. Nice easy access, to be honest. I'm hoping just to cut that little piece out and there should be enough movement on the pipe to just get away with putting the gas press coupling on. Save time and customer money. So yeah, that's going to be perfect, that. Just enough movement on it to pull it closer together, but I ain't going to be pressing up with the 15mm jar, am I? Oh! Tightness test done. Happy day. Just put another clip on there just to make it a bit more supported. Now we should move on to doing the boiler. Right, filling loop is the part that's leaking, so that says a new filling loop. Different to that one, integral, but still, that's what's leaking. And a new plate for the hot water, which is running lukewarm. I'll show you how I know that in a second. I'm just glad it's come with washers. Nice easy swap these on a Duotech. Right. You see the temperature rising really rapid, and then here you go. It's a sign the plate is all chopped up. You can't get rid of its heat fast enough. Let's get it out. I've just isolated the cold water supply. Boiler's the highest thing, so I'm going to drain it off via that drain off there. So now drain it down. I'm going to do the filling loop first, which is basically just disconnect that nut and that nut. Just sucking in air. Left the kitchen sink tap open downstairs, you see. A little bit of pressure left in the heat inside. Obviously this part is lower than the actual boiler drainer. Flick off the old fibre washers. Make sure that's a nice, clean, flat, smooth surface. Check the return filter whilst we're in here. Not too bad. You can tuck these up out of the way, which I don't know if I should do or not, or have it dangling down at front so they can see what's what. I think I have it dangling down at the front. It's in a cupboard. That's that in now. So obviously we've got the double check valve on the cold side for making it easier for draining down in the future. I think that looks too bad. We'll move on to the plate now. And we're doing that, hopefully there won't be as much water left in it, but I've got a towel at the ready. I've got one screw here. And another one just underneath the pump at the back there. Let's give it a push, release any water. That's it, ready for lifting out. Just grabbing my arm around the back of the pump here. Belting. That is chocker. Don't know if you can see it. Oh dear, oh dear. So I can flick out the old O-rings now, which is actually probably the hardest bit of the job. It's where this comes in. Hopefully, be able to pick and fling them out. Right, all four new O-rings are in on both blocks. I'm just going to smear a bit of silicone grease around the outer edge of this to help it seal. That's the way it came out. You can just see that the screws are offset. So that's the way it's got to go back in. So obviously reverse order, back through that hole and back in. It's a slightly bigger plate than the old one. The customer supplied all this because his dad works at Plumber Basin. But I don't know how much difference it'll make, if any. We'll see though, won't we? Gonna shut off the tap downstairs, I think. Obviously I've only turned the cold main side off, so if anything starts dripping at the minute, we know that it's down to something on the mains, hot and cold. Better dry off everything from before really first. Right, let's put some pressure in then. Can hear it hissing out of the air then at the top. No leaks. Good. The pressure in this property must be absolutely terrible. Christ. That'll do. That was the stupid switch which is obviously broke at some point. So watch what happens this temperature now. Wanted to stabilise around, well, between 60 and 70 degrees really. Definitely not rising as fast as it was before. It's just modulating down now. That's nice and hot. Don't know if you can hear it on the camera, but I can hear the flame modulating. As you can see, it's going to stay hovering around that temperature. You can still hear air in the pump. I'll clear that out in a minute when I put the heat out. I'd say that's job fixed. So I don't know if any of you could see that, but where the flow switch, flow turbine, whatever you want to call it, is a lot of limescale build up on it, so that's either leaking or has been leaking. Something to watch out for in the future on this job. So people wanting me to do, well, a lot of people ask, how much you charge for that? How much you charge for that? Well, that was obviously labour only. Not actually used any parts, customer got them all. Other than the press gas coupling. So £100 labour and that press coupling. And I've been here, what, an hour and 20 minutes. Hope that gives you some sort of insight. I'll try and do some more of these. Oh, of course it's one of the bloody jelly elbows that's leaking. Swap it for one of them ones. Better. Now that one will divide opinion in the comments. That is one of my installs. It's approximately 2 years old, maybe 3 years old. Service every year. Lovely couple, lovely elderly couple. And yeah, didn't charge them. Some people might have said it's well within my rights to charge them. Ultimately, that condensate elbow from Basin, I mean, it could have actually been a warranty call out, let's be honest, and they'd have just come out and swapped the elbow as well. But I've got them spare rubber elbows. Actually, that was my last one. I had them spare black elbows. They superseded the white ones because they go to like a chewing gum texture. The condensate obviously attacks them and they become baggy, and that's what causes them to leak. So yeah, swap them out. Should have, in hindsight, probably done it on the last service, but for some reason I haven't. And yeah, so didn't charge them. I haven't gone out of my way. I've just been passing that. So let me know in the comments, would you have charged them? And if so, how much? This next one, routine servicing, it's 4 years old. Just check pressure in the vessel. Another chewing gum elbow. Except this time I haven't got a replacement, so I'm gonna have to clean this up and maybe put a tie wrap around it. This is actually worse condition than the last one. Tie wrap around that, hopefully that'll give that elbow a little bit more life. To me this photo looks like it's upside down. That's the air vent. I don't have that at the bottom normally, but apparently you can clean these out without having to. If I just turn this, the heating can actually stay on. It's a bypass, you see. Need 2 hands to do this. You need to pull that pin out as well as spin the big nut. Let's get that cleaned up. Bit cleaner. Let's grease up this O-ring. That's 2 actually. Wonderful. I'm already forgetting. So that one was routine service, £70. I put it up December last year from 60 to 70. Yeah, so that's all that one was. Now we're on another routine service with a radiator that's not working. I'm hoping it's just a stuck TRV. So this is our next routine boiler service, like I said, with the radiator that's not working downstairs, but we'll check that out when I've started this. This has actually been on YouTube before because they asked me to put some leak sealer in because the pipes drop downstairs and then go into concrete floors and they were losing pressure, so every so often. I chucked this in about a year ago and hadn't heard anything since. And apparently it now holds its pressure. So yeah, one little bottle of that, cheap stuff. Entity from Plumber, I think about £6, something like that. Obviously cured this this issue. A little bit of muck in that, but the torch isn't. See it better there. You find that on Worcesters and Ideals seem to build up the condensate rubbish a lot faster than such things like a Baxi and whatever. Yes, you might see these green marks on the flow and return valves. I did replace the washers in that once upon a time, so that's an old stain. So this is one of them. That's playing up. That is actually off now, but it isn't the right head for the valve, so it isn't actually shutting the pin down. So that one's replacing. One in here. Nothing. A little slight bit of warmth. But the pin is free. So I'm not sure if this one is just airlocked. Just put the head back on that and closed it down. I'm going to open this drain off and try and, with this valve open, and try and pull through whatever's, well, hopefully there'll be air. Nothing on that side. So I'll shut this back off, close this valve, and do the same again, open that, open drain off and see if it blasts any air through. Might just need balancing. I was hoping it was cough and splutter is what I was hoping. No. Balancing issue this. I'm going to change that with a valve. Open that lock shield up a bit more and see what happens. It is going through warm. Now I've put more pressure back in. But I'm only running at minimum rate because obviously I've got to drain it down to that valve. I don't want to get burnt. No drain off on this one, so I'll go back to the other one and at least take the pressure off before swapping that. One new valve. I'm going to try and snatch this. I've released the pressure off live, but probably won't be changing the nuts and all this, let's be honest. Might do. I did manage to change the nut and olive when they've not been compressed too hard onto the pipe. You can remove them just by squeezing them around with the grips. Right, let's get the heating filled back up and see what's going on with that radiator in that other bedroom. I already smell the heat off this. Oh my god, Jay. Well, just wanted that lock shield opening up a bit more. Basically what I was doing when I was shutting off the TRV and opening the drain off, seeing whether there was air in it, but also at the same time I was testing both valves were actually opening, just to confirm that it wasn't that. But ultimately the lock shield was virtually turned off, so the water would find it difficult to circulate that round that radiator. It wasn't a balancing issue, just the fact that the lock shield was turned down too much. So that one, total cost obviously £70 for the boiler service, but normally I'd charge £70 plus the valve for a TRV if I was just going out to that job for just to change that TRV. But because I was there anyway, I just charged 50 quid including the valve, so 120 total. Obviously the TRV only took me all of 5-10 minutes anyway. People might disagree with my pricing, but I don't know, it's just the way I am. I'll give them a discount if I'm here anyway doing a job. It's no stress for me, is it? I've made what, 40 quid for 10 minutes work. On to the next one. Right, so this next one is probably the one I've been dreading most today. It's normally the case when you're jobbing about. There's always one that you don't want to do. This one is a kitchen sink waste which is leaking. But when she sent me a picture of it, the plug is 1.5 inch plug, not a strainer style waste, and it's a clicker function like you would get in a basin waste or a bath. Now I quickly did a Google over the weekend, screw fix, tool station, not got the handbrake on, and we're now rolling forward. And couldn't find anything other than your rubber plug and chains, to which is what I sent back to her, and she said I don't want a plug and chain. So yeah, let's see what this is. Hopefully we can fix the leak. So I'll show you a bit more when we get back, but ultimately it's a bath clicker waist that they've put in instead of a plug and chain. So I'm going to shoot over to Plumbing Merchants now and see if they've got one. I do have a bath waist in the van, but the ones with a twisty style pop up waist, not a clicker one. And obviously you can't have a massive overflow on the side of the kitchen sink. It wouldn't work anyway. But yeah, we need to go and find a clicker waist for a bath. Hopefully Plumbase have one. She said you can just take it out and reseal it if you want, but I want a new one because the chrome's all tarnished and stuff. So I'd rather try and just, if I'm going to take it out, I'd rather replace it. I managed to get a Viva bath waist clicker. Hopefully I'll be able to make this work.
And there's a damp patch on my chimney rest in the bedroom.
That's the old one out, as you can see it's 1.5 inch hole. This is the new one. Hopefully it'll fit, as long as the overflow from here will push back onto this one. It should be a-okay. That's the original overflow, and it's a bit too baggy. So let's try and use this, the new one. Connects onto that. It looks like it's been siliconed up before. Lovely. Try and get that on there now. So this was to try and be run falling downhill all the way. I don't want to cut that down in case it won't connect onto any of the ends. It's gonna be hard work, this. So I wanted the overflow to run obviously down into where it connects to the bottom of the plug part, because if it sags, when they empty the dirty kitchen sink water, it ends up running into that overflow pipe if it's sagged, and then it sits there, then it starts causing smells because it's after the trap. So yeah, I wanted it running downhill, and I didn't want to cut it short. Well, I didn't want to cut it shorter just in case it wouldn't fit onto either end. That would have been a disaster. So yeah, I managed to get it flowing all the way downhill by running it behind the back of the tap flexes. Because it's made for a bath, that. It's not a kitchen sink waste at all, it's a bath waste. But yeah, cost of that, £18 for the plug, and I charged 80 quid, so 62 quid labour. Less than an hour. Granted, it should be £70 labour, but again, she's a regular customer. I try and look after them as and when I can. Next one we've got is a Basin waste to change, so virtually the same as that, but on a Basin, a vanity unit. But this time I'm going to be trying out the Thomas Dudley Basin mate. Now I've had a go at these before, whereas you know me, I like to silicone my waste. These, they don't reckon you need silicone. I'm trying it on a vanity unit before I try it on tomorrow's job, which is a pedestal basin. If it leaks on that pedestal basin, I'm going to be fuming, and I will silicone everything forever. Yes, this next one, we're going to replace this basin waste just because the one that's in's gone all corroded. She reckons she's not even putting any cleaning products down, and I believe her, to be honest. I think it's just the quality of stuff these days. I mean, Flowmaster's not the greatest quality, but I find it all much alike. But we're going to be trying out, again, second time, the Dudley Basin waste. Apparently you do not need silicone these, so we'll see. But last time I struggled like hell getting these on because they're so tight to go up the threads. But I've since found out if you warm them up, they'll go up nicely. thing has snapped. Brass. Shy, I'm sure it is. Finally got it out now, I just need to clean off the rest of the remaining silicone. Still need to get it out of there, like, but from what I believe is you leave this washer on, I think. Drop that in. I'm guessing you don't need that polystyrene foamy one. Where's it gone now? I'll warm this bit up. That is then going to ride up them threads with this pushing behind it and your standard basin nut. Let's get this warmed up now with some hot water. But it certainly went on a bit easier with warming it up. Let's wind this nut up now. Need 2 hands. On the other hand, this. Let's hope I've got a spare adjustable P-trap for a basin in the van. For God's sake. Simplest of jobs. Good job for that. So far, so good. I'm not going to lie, I'm quite impressed with that. I think they're about £3–4, so save silicone in, easier. It should be easier to replace as well in the future. So that concludes the day. Just a random day. I thought I'd get some prices in on a random day. There's even a job in there that we did for 3, let's be fair. Changing that condensate elbow. But minus materials, that comes in at about £385 labour for all of them jobs for the full day. Bear in mind I'm northwest, so down south in London, etc., your prices are going to be probably double double that. But yeah, northwest, I'd say for the area that I'm in, I'm averagely priced, maybe slightly above average. Not the cheapest. Boiler services you can get for 50 quid round here easily, or as I'm 70. Yeah, it's not plus VAT because I'm not VAT registered yet. Anyway, let us know your opinions in the comments. And as usual, guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to click like, and I'll catch you on the next one.